Happy Monday, everyone. I'm just now getting my day started and I'm just like moving y'all around with me, but nothing fun or entertaining happening here. Besides the fact that I did not make it to CrossFit, and now I'm trying to debate. I'm like, if I go to 4 o'clock, like I could make it, go at 4, but I have to have everything done before I leave. And I feel like that's a very doable goal. It just means as soon as I get back, I just go straight to class, which I'm not opposed to that. I'm not opposed to it at all. But the struggle bus of 8:30 is so real. It's so real. And to be fair, like I really enjoyed my spring break quite a bit, like a little too much. So, but anyhow, I'm just getting my coffee prepared and ready for the day. And I'm actually getting ready to make part 2 of dinner. I'm saying part 2, but really just like another like meat. So on Sundays, I do cook with me's, and basically I went on ahead and prepared tacos, and there was enough taco dishes for, let's see, we ate it last night and I made 4 more meals out of it. So, which is great, but 2 of those meals is going to better half and the other 2 are going for me. So, but I still have to make the tilapia because I don't want the tilapia to go bad. So hold on, stand by guys. I gotta crunch this up. Okay. I like to make French press coffee. That's my go-to. I do like a good Keurig as well. But right now, because it's winter time, colder, I'm not even going to say it's winter here. It's just cooler. I like a good hot coffee first thing in the morning. And I'm also going to make my brunch, because at this point it's not even breakfast time. I'm just making brunch, which I feel like I say that all the time. So that's what I have going on presently. But my day consists of, I'm actually going to have to give licensing a call, because with my goals and intention for the week, I am working on getting things in order for Outback Learning, which I know that's super new for most of you guys. I'm going to just leave that open. But I am so excited about relaunching this business. Y'all have no idea. I'm like very excited. It's been a long time coming, and even though I've been putting time and energy and effort into it over the years, it's a lot different because I'm like literally, like I'm in a bookkeeping course. I am learning how to keep like better books about things. I've figured out my overhead costs. I've already determined that I'm gonna hire people. And I'm going to get licensed, which is like huge news, because for a while I was like, no, I don't want to get licensed. I don't want to get licensed. But I did some additional researching and just like thinking, and I'm like, well, I could be licensed. And that if I'm licensed, that means I can service more children. And that also means I can hire more people, which is huge. So, and I could basically set it up to where like days that I can't make it because I may have to go on campus, I'm like, girl, that's why you hire someone. When I tell you you have to learn how to think like a boss, that's what I feel like I'm going through, is I'm learning how to think outside of being like the solo entrepreneur, and what is it going to be like to be an actual small business. And so my goal and intention is, as the owner and operator of Outback Learning LLC, that I will be able to manage the admin side of things and do lesson planning and be able to support my staff essentially, and try to keep it small. I think we're going to have, I think I want to have someone that's able to work Monday through Friday if that's what they want. If we have a Monday, Wednesday class, like Monday, Wednesday, 2 sessions, that allows that person to get, what is it? They will be able to get basically 5 hours, so like 15 hours a week. And then if they wanted to work Tuesday, Thursday, that would also give them the opportunity to get another 5 hours out of the week. And so, not another 5, they'd be able to get another 10. So that would put them at like 25 hours a week. And then I would say adding like an hour to each day. So then 30 hours a week. And my goal is I'm pretty confident I'd be able to pay them $20 an hour and then be able to hire like a teaching assistant at, well, I'm saying $20 an hour, but it really is, it's contingent upon quite a few things. But anyways, I definitely know that I want to do a minimum of 20, and I think the assistant would have to be, the assistant might be 20, and then the teacher might be like 22, give or take, something like that. But I'm still figuring out the math at this point. But I had such an amazing conversation with one of my favorite CrossFit coaches this weekend, and she was just like, yeah, minimum wage is 15, but it's not livable, which she's absolutely right. And so I'm also thinking about like, am I going to do this as contracts, or am I going to be able, I'm still, I feel like the first year employees might be contracted out, and then the following year I'll be able to actually like set it up to where they're regular employees and not like contracted. But it's just a lot. It's a lot to learn. I don't think people understand what it takes to run a business and all the things you need to know. But I just feel like I'm learning, and I'm learning as much as I can. And I feel like if we have the growth, then ultimately we could have up to 40 kids total for the whole program, but we would never have 40 kids at a time. For each session, it would be 10 kids at a time, which would be amazing. Well, actually, I think, yeah, Tuesday, Thursday would be 20 kids, and then Monday, Wednesday, Friday would be another 20. But I'm just excited for the opportunity and just the fact that this is potentially happening. Not even potentially, like it's legit going to happen. So good things are coming, guys. But anyways, I heard my coffee go off. I wanted to just give you guys like kind of an insight of what I've got going on today. It is my first day back at work. I'm hybrid, so I prepped my calendar, my college calendar last week, like on Thursday, so I already know what I have going on. I'm going to be working on curriculum, and I already graded last night. And yeah, I graded last night. I sent out course announcements to remind everyone we have class this week, because you know how it is, like you're on break and then you come back and you forget like, oh yeah, I have class and I got to do things. So I reminded them that we have class. I'll be prepping presentation for my classes tonight. And then I'll be working on curriculum along with some other, just catching up on emails because I haven't checked them in a week. And prepping for things for tomorrow. And the hardest days of the week for me are Monday through Wednesday. I say the hardest, but like hardest in terms of like they're heavy admin and like heavy on the focusing on the students and what they need type of stuff. So anyways, let me get my day started, and maybe I'll take you guys along. If I make it to CrossFit at 4, listen, I'm probably going to go live, but I might pull it off because it's literally like 8 minutes down the road for me. So I feel like I can do it. And if I'm able to pull it off, then it might be that's what I do, is just make myself go to 4 o'clock. I don't know. It's such a struggle to go to 8:30, and people are probably like, I don't understand, what's the struggle? It's not that hard. Just get up. And I'm like, It's just not that easy. I need sleep. Did I not mention that's one of my annual goals, sleeping? So maybe I can get through the workout and like bounce, I don't know, 5 minutes before it ends. I don't know. I'll look at the workout for today and see if I can pull it off, but we'll see, guys. We will see. All I can do is take it one day at a time. But I hate that I'm paying for this membership and I don't use it. So I don't use it as often as I should or that I desire to. So let's see. All right, guys, I'm going to hop off of here. And if I don't come back today, I'll be back tomorrow or some other time during the week to let you know what's going on. And I am working on another series, Doc Stories. So if I have some updates on the doctoral journey, I'll be working on those videos and then releasing them later. So, because some of the stuff is happening in real time. So, anyways, I will catch y'all later. Bye. Happy Tuesday, guys. Guess who made it to CrossFit 2 days in a row? This girl did. I'm a little too excited. So, just for anybody that is a YouTuber or content creator, I should say, I do not do Car Chronicles anymore because apparently there are channels, YouTube does not like that. So I'm not doing Car Chronicles unless my car is still. So I got up this morning thanks to my little dog Trina. Of course, she woke me up and I could hear her little toenails on the ground. I kicked her and her siblings out and I laid in bed and read my book until I felt like I was ready to get up and my brain was awake. So I did good. I went to CrossFit yesterday at 4 and then I finally made it to the 8:30 class. But here was the catch. I was tired enough. I was in bed at 12:30. I know that sounds like really late for some people, like, oh my gosh, that's really late. That's very early for someone like myself who's very much a night person. But I know if I can just be in bed at 12:30 and read for like the next 45 minutes to an hour, that's like golden for me. So the fact that I was able to do that, granted, I woke up a couple of times. I mean, I think the next big goal would be like 12:15. I don't know. Right now, my husband is having to get up really, really early, which he normally gets up at 4, but he's like having to leave the house at like 4:15 so he can get to work by like 5. And because I was not in a deep enough sleep, like I was pretty awake um, when he was stirring around at 3 o'clock in the morning. And I'm sure I'm going to hear him say like, why were you awake? Like, what were you doing? So anyways, I'm getting ready to go inside. I'm going to have a protein shake and I think I'm going to do some cleaning and then I'm going to get myself ready, make a brunch or midday morning breakfast. I'm going to go ahead and cook his chicken for him because I already know he's going to be like really, 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 really tired. Um, from just everything that he has going on this week. And, you know, when you've been married for a long time, you just try to do these acts of kindness, especially since we're going to be like ships passing through the night. Um, because because he's going in at like 5, he's not getting off until 3:30. But by that point, I am like getting ready to teach by like 5:15 and he typically like works out right after work. In this case he's going to go straight over to our old place and basically continue to work in the yard to get it ready for like my program Outback Learning. So I got a couple of calls I need to make as well, and my goal is I have a meeting at 1:30. And I think between the meeting, which I already prepared for yesterday, I am going to try to record a podcast. I'm recording this video already and then work on some things for the side D as well, because now that I've like knocked out my workout, which I kind of needed to do it earlier in the day because I call my parents on Tuesday night. So the challenge is like I can't try to get all this stuff done at night or at 4 o'clock in the evening, have class, get off of class, and then call them immediately, because now that everybody's sprung forward and we're still stuck in time, we never change time. We just go backwards in terms of what time zone we're in. So now we're in Pacific Standard Time in the spring and summer. So that's what I try to remind people. The winter time is great because everybody's just only an hour or 2 hours ahead of us, but now everybody is 2 or 3 hours ahead. But it's great for like all of my friends that are West Coast because now we're on the same time zone. So that's what I have going today. Class was great last night. Oh my gosh, it was so good. I love my students. I just feel like this semester, they're, I feel like I say this every semester. They're ready. They're like ready to learn. And I sent out announcements. I scheduled them for yesterday to remind everybody, like, hey, we have class this week. And everybody's been showing up. Like, I only had one student absent out of like, I think 22, which people don't understand. Like, if you're in higher education, you probably get it, but like students are not always like ready to like learn and engage after having a break. But they're back, and some of my students are on their spring break with their. Okay, so I think I'm running out of time. I'm running out of time on my phone, so I need to delete some things. I need to get my life together, and I will catch you guys in a little bit. um yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Bye. All right, guys, it is later in the day. When I recorded earlier, I was in my car, literally running out of like room on my phone. But anyways, I just got off the phone with licensing. And first off, it's very interesting, when you call to ask questions or just get clarity on things and you're diverted to look at the website. Here's when I have concerns. If I'm calling, and even if I don't have a specific question, but like you're not even giving me an overview of anything. You're just kind of like, if you go to the website will tell you this. It's almost like, okay, business standpoint. If someone were to say to me, what is Outback Learning LLC? And I said, here's my website. And if you go to the website, it can explain the program. I mean, are you going to want to register your child or not at that point? Probably not, because the person that owns it or runs it can't even describe what it's about. That's a concern. So I kind of had that moment right now. So I am very familiar with licensing compliancy from a like larger agency, like childcare facility, but I've never ran a program where it was licensed out of a home. And so that's part of why I was calling, was like, I was thinking that, the compliance officer was basically going to give me like a basic overview. And then that way, like any questions that I had, I could just ask. And instead I was like diverted to look at the website. I'm like, that's interesting. But I did find out that I would need to apply for a child care group home license. And yeah, so I thought that was kind of interesting. I was like, oh, okay. I would have never guessed that, but that's why you call, because I have the PowerPoint like pulled up in front of me. I've been on the website. I go through this stuff with my students, and I didn't even know which one to choose because it doesn't really tell you. And unless you're applying, you're not going to really know. And so anyways, it was still a good call, but it was still just kind of like, can you just like give me an overview, like a brief overview? And the fact that I'm like, I want to be a home-based provider. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to set up. And you're over here just like, go to the website. And if it's in red, that means you probably should click on it and really look through it. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I do have my work cut out for me to definitely review this in more detail. But the main thing is that I need to make sure that I have everything in place to get the approval. And this could take like 1 to 3 months in order to get the state the state to say yes to this being a licensed facility. So I feel like I'm halfway there, more than halfway there, because I already have the business license and I need to get a couple other things done, and then I should be set. And it's a matter of just like, it's all about like health and safety. That's really what it boils down to. And so that's what I'm going to be doing. It's just making sure that I'm compliant. And for someone who was very iffy about going down this path, I'm not anymore. I'm on board with, and not because I don't want to like follow state rules, because I do want to follow them. I just don't want to do all this extra work. But I feel like it's an added layer. And from a business standpoint, in order to hire additional people, this will be really helpful to be able to do. So this is what I'm going to do. But aside from that, I had a call earlier and I've cleaned the whole house before I got myself ready for the day. I cooked some chicken. I went live and I already have class prepped. And I'm pretty sure, because I went to CrossFit this morning, I'm going to make it again tomorrow. And I will be able to basically probably get to work a little bit sooner, because I'm not going to be so dog tired. I know I'm going to be dog tired tonight and be ready to go to bed. I know that much. I'm like, oh my gosh, how much more time do I have left in today? So, but I'll be teaching here shortly. I'm going to record a podcast here in a minute and take a little walk, have some dinner, and basically teach. That's what I have going on for today. So yeah, and then tomorrow will be a campus day. So maybe I'll be able to get some B-roll with me in CrossFit tomorrow. We'll see. I'll check out the workout and go from there. But it's been a great Tuesday so far. And I'm also working on like another series called Doc Stories. Doc Stories. I think it'll be pretty interesting for you guys to kind of get like behind the scenes of what's going on in my doctoral journey, and just like sharing some updates, weekly updates on how things are going, and just sharing that out. So anyways, I'm gonna hop off because I need to mark off some things that I've gotten completed on my task list for today. And I will talk with you guys probably tomorrow. Bye. What's up, everyone? Happy Tuesday. I have not caught up with you guys in like a week. I think it's been a week. But anyways, it's almost 8:30 and I am en route to CrossFit. Yes, I guess you could say like I've set a new challenge for myself. And I don't want to say it's like a new challenge, but I have found a way to basically show up, which I give myself a 4-day-a-week challenge of going to CrossFit. And I've been keeping track of this on, oh, look at this. This is so cool. We have people like collecting, environmentalists collecting pollution. That makes my heart feel good. I'm glad I'm not the only one that's like, let me just get this trash. But you know what? My husband said something really interesting. Ever since we moved, we had to choose a different waste management aside from the city. And the waste management that we chose, he's like, they're not responsible with their trash. And he's like, we need to change them. And I said, well, what's going on? He's like, they don't care if they have trash flying off. They don't care about anything. And not that I didn't doubt that, because I've taken walks in the neighborhood and I do see trash. And it's like, it's a combination of like, you know, the waste management not being responsible, and then also just like stuff flying, you know, in the desert, because it's that time of the year. It's very windy. So anyhow, but I've made this challenge of basically I am going to CrossFit 4 days out of the week, and I've already made it to 1 out of 4. And it seems like going to 4 p.m. on Monday, 8:30 on Tuesday, 8:30 Wednesday, and 6 p.m. Thursday seem to really, really work well. So I guess my point is, like, if you're trying to get something accomplished, like, I don't know, for me, I used to normally go to CrossFit at like 8:30. It just wasn't working. I'm like, it's not working with the schedule. And I find on Mondays, I stay up much later, kind of much later, but yeah, not like 2 a.m. later, but just, I don't want to be getting up early on Monday. So I tested out going to the 4 p.m. class, not this Monday, but the Monday before that. And it worked very, very well. I'm like, oh, and I made it to class on time. And I was still able to eat dinner. Now, yesterday, I actually did not eat dinner before class because I ate lunch like at 2:30. And that was perfect because I wasn't hungry, A, going into CrossFit, and then B, I wasn't hungry afterwards. And so I just ate like a little dinner after class, like at 8 o'clock. And that seemed to be like really, really good. So one of the challenges is that I have to eat a full meal for breakfast, lunch, and dinner when I'm in the CrossFits, because you're just exerting way too much energy to be eating like little snacks and stuff. Like, that's just not going to cut it. But when I'm not doing CrossFit, I'm like, sure, I can do like, I don't know, protein shakes and stuff like that to survive off of. But no, I'm like, not when you're, yesterday, I think I did 3 rounds, 17 times 3. What is that? 41 deadlifts, 41 sit-ups, and 41 wall balls? Yeah. Because it was 17 per each round, and each time I had to do these step up like burpees, which I did a modified version of the burpee, which worked well. But my point is, when you're doing all those repetitive movements and also you're moving with weight, yeah, you're gonna be hungry. That's just it. So I rather go ahead and fuel myself than to be like starving, basically, because there's kind of no point to be feeling that way. But anyhow, I'm almost to my destination, but I wanted to let you all know, hi, it's a new week, and hopefully I won't lose any footage like I did the last time. I lost some footage, and I'm still kicking myself for that. I'm like, how did you manage to do this, girl? So annoying. But anyways, all right, I will catch you guys in a little bit, and yeah, bye for now. Okay, guys, I am all done with CrossFitting, and I went live this morning because I needed to do an unboxing of a Sephora box that one of my best friends sent me. And it was fun, but I was like crunched for time because I'm like, dude, I got someplace like I have to be at 11:30 and I don't want to be late. And I'm already like, I'm leaving before 11:15, so I'm on time. So CrossFit was a real grind. It took me 35 minutes, 15 seconds, I think, or 6 seconds to do the entire workout. So basically we had to, it was a running, you could either run, and for me, I always bike. Between the winds and all of that, I was like, there's no need to have an asthma attack. It's not worth it. Just competing with myself. And plus I dealt with like a million injuries. It felt like last year that I'm like, I am not going to do anything that's going to trigger an injury. Not that running would trigger it, but it's not something I do regular. Like, it's not something I do regularly. So I don't, I'm just like, no, I can just get on the bike. So I had to do 2.4 kilometers or distance. Yeah, kilometers. And then 20 alternating lunges, and then 1.2 kilometers on the bike, and then afterwards 10 lunges. And you had to do 3 sets. That was just one round. So on average, it was taking people about 35 minutes to do. And I was proud of myself because I didn't scale any of the workout. Like, I didn't say, oh, I'm going to do like only 2 kilometers on the bike. I did the full amount for the workout. So I was very proud of myself, considering I've been so like in and out of CrossFit and just not really able to dedicate as much time as I had once been able to do pre-injury and all of that. But now I'm like, your girl is back. So I think too, just the fact that I have figured out a routine so that I can be successful, I think that was half of the battle for me. Really, honestly, and truly half of the battle. I want to be successful. I want to set myself up to where I can be productive and not feeling like I'm just wasting my time. So, wasting time and money. And we all know I don't like to waste time, nor do I like to waste money. So, anyhow, I have a lock appointment, and basically I'll be getting a new style, and I'm almost confident my loctician is going to be like, what style do you want? And I'm going to be like, I don't know. I'm good for it. I don't know. Like, I don't know what I should do with my hair. I want to just say to her, like, freestyle. And she's going to look at me like I'm crazy. Like, what do you mean freestyle? I hear the ambulance, so I need to just be. So anyhow, but that's what I had going on this morning. And of course, my little dog was up pacing this morning. She was kind enough to not start until after 6. So that means I at least got 4 or 5 hours of sleep versus like 3 hours of sleep. But my bedtime is getting a little bit earlier and earlier, between knowing they're going to get up in the morning and then also knowing I need to go work out. I have to get proper rest. So I've just been adjusting myself. But aside from that, I did have to kick them out and they were fine. Granted, the big dog was trying to like break in and I had to scold him. I was like, absolutely not. So that's what I had going on earlier. And after my hair appointment, I have a meeting, class prep, work on curriculum. And after that, or like prep curriculum, I think I'm either going to be prepping curriculum or prepping my program reviews, because I'm actually going to be taking a break from school until April 15th. And while I'm on spring break, I plan to be knocking out these bigger projects that I need to do for work. So then I know that they will be done essentially. So that's my plan. And then afterwards, I have class tonight. If I have time, I will record a podcast. I need to just kind of check and see where I'm at in the process. And then after class, I normally do a live, like a Tuesday reflect, reset, and wind down. And I would say, like, I don't know if I want to use wind down, but I think reflect and reset is perfect. So, and tonight I'll be talking about like entrepreneurial things and what's going on there. I think those are the topics. And then I talked to my parents tonight, which now that everybody has sprung forward, our conversations are much shorter because it's so late when I'm talking to them, but it's the same time for me. So that's the challenge, is I'm like, I still have to call you at 8:30 because I still don't get out of class till 7:45, and that's like 99.9% of the battle. So, but anyhow, I'll talk to them, and then pretty much once I get off the call with them, and then in the midst of everything, I gotta do laundry. So yeah, I gotta do laundry. And usually when I'm talking on the phone with them, I'm putting away my laundry, so I'll probably be doing a combination of all of that. And yeah, so that's my plans for today. And after I'm done chatting with them, I'll go into the living room and just get things prepped for the next day, and then have like an hour. Actually, I'll have like a little bit more time to kind of chill, because I'm all showered now, versus last night I felt like I pretty much had to kind of rush. So that's what I have going on. And yeah, it's just a lot of positive things also happening with Outback. And I think I'm going to do a separate series talking about my journey and returning back to relaunching my nature-based preschool, so I can share what is that journey like, what are the conversations that I've been having, and what have been the pros and cons, and what are we doing. There's a lot of moving parts when you're opening whether it's a center or a preschool. There's a lot of moving parts. Cost is huge. It's huge. And one of the things that I'm learning in my market analysis is that we have two different extremes where I live, where the lower end of the programming is like $175, and then the upper, like higher end, $175 a month. The higher end is like $700 a month. And I'm like, where does Outback fit into that space? That's been really unique. And there are challenges in making that decision. There's a lot of challenges in making the decision, that's for sure. But I'll get there. I'm not worried. I am already praying for the 8 children that I'll be working with, and praying for like a future employee, because I know that's going to happen. I just believe it in my gut. I just honestly, truly believe it. So yeah, so that's where I'm at. And then tomorrow I commute to campus, and I don't know if I'll hop on tomorrow or if I'll be back on Thursday to chat with you guys, but I'm getting closer to where I need to be. So I'm going to end for right now, and this is going to be like a 2-week vlog of just like 2 weeks worth of things. So anyways, I will talk with y'all later. Have a happy Tuesday, and hopefully I'll be able to chime in on Wednesday. We'll see. What's up, everyone? Welcome to another Doc Story update. So, I woke up this morning with an email from the lead faculty, and basically, I had emailed her a week ago. I think that's what I was sharing with you guys in the last video. I emailed her a week ago just to say, like, hey, this is what's going on. I got an NP, and my committee member resigned as well. So, anyhow, I nudged her kind of, which per her request, I did not do this just to be like, can you answer me? But she's like, if I'm unresponsive, I'm not offended if you're like, let me get this email to the top of her email list. So basically, she was like, okay, find another committee member. But she also said, I will take care of the NP. Yay! I'm so excited about that. Oh my gosh. I wish I could be a fly on the wall and just, because that's got to be like a weird conversation. I mean, I would feel that way. You guys know, like, I work full time at a community college, and I just could not imagine failing a student just to fail them and they didn't earn it. Like, I feel a certain way when students fail and they actually earn the grade. But I feel like, why would you do that? And this is what I also think. I think sometimes, I don't know if this is true, I think sometimes people feel like they're possibly untouchable and nothing's going to happen to them. And they feel like they can bully and intimidate students. And I'm just not one of them. I'm like, you may have caught me deer in the headlights when you're like, going off in our meeting, but not anymore. Like, and it's not so much that I was deer in the headlights. I was just kind of like, I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to do. I just didn't understand what was going on. But I feel like now, I found a way to just like stabilize and make the situation like more manageable for myself so I didn't feel so overwhelmed. And I have a lot of relief, like a lot of relief now. And I'm very excited. I'm very excited that my grade is going to be changed. I don't know how soon, so I'm going to check in the coming week, and I am going to file the formal complaint. I was initially not going to, but I am going to, because I'm just like, and I got failed for no reason. Like, and you can't just say like, oh, well, she didn't know how to describe anything in her preliminary oral defense. That doesn't make any sense because it was the first draft and you were looking at it for the first time, supposed to be providing feedback, which she did, but I don't know why it like turned into what it did. So anyways, I digress. I actually have class here in a few minutes, so I have to be quick. I have another victory number 2. So you guys know that I reached out to a committee member yesterday because I have to replace the old one. And I believe I had stated if I didn't hear back from this person, like within the next couple of days, I would reach out to another person. And basically, I got an email back today, and they also said yes to being my committee member and helping me get through the hump of finishing my doctorate. And I'm like, yay! I'm so happy. I'm like, oh my gosh. I feel like a phoenix rising for real and just climbed out from underneath the rock. And I provided this committee member my paper that was approved by the methodologist. And I also provided them the PowerPoint that the new chair had reviewed with their comments. And I'm like, this is where I'm at. But I had not changed the names on the documents. And I left it that way. And the more I thought about it, I was like, no, because I can't really change it. But also, I'm just like, if you're a person that's professional, you'll probably see the thing and then you can decide on what you want to do. Because I also didn't want to like get into the weeds. I felt like if I took the names off, then I have to explain why I don't have anyone. And it's like the names are there. We don't even have to have a conversation about it, but just know that I had to make the change. And so you can either come along the journey with me to be like, yep, let's do this, let's knock this out. Or you can say, you know what, I don't think this is for me. And so the fact that I've had 4 eyes, including previous people, review the stuff and approve it, and then to have a new chair and a new committee member look at it as well and say, yeah, I want to be a part of this journey. Yeah, let's get you through. Like, that makes my heart very, very happy. So no more micromanaging anymore, and just like a normal class. So I will be submitting the new committee member documentation, and then I also have to submit to the school because I'm taking a break for longer than 10 days. So I don't return back to class until April 15th, which by the time y'all see this, probably gonna be May or June. But prayerfully, by the time this series is rolling out and y'all are seeing this in June, because I'm going to keep documenting everything along the way, you guys will just hear about how everything went well, you know. And honestly, not just sharing it for you guys, but just even for myself, I just want to have this like history of, you know, this piece of my life that I've been doing for the last, I started in fall of 2020, but I've been working on the paper since December of 2023. And actually before then, because it was like July of 2023, but I started working with my chair in December of 2023. So it's been a long journey. And I'm very happy now because I feel like it's all going to work out the way that it's supposed to. So anyways, I hope y'all are having a great day, a great night, a good morning, and I will catch you on the next video with another Doc Story update. Bye, everyone.